Howdy, y'all. This is Proverbs 30 in the NMV for September 30th, 2023. The words of Agur, son of Yakah, the prophecy. The man spoke unto Ithiel, even unto Ithiel and Ukal. Surely I am more stupid as a beast than any man, and have not the understanding of a man. I neither learned wisdom, nor have the knowledge of the holy. Who has ascended up into heaven or descended? Who's gathered the wind in his fists? Who's bound the waters in a garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name, if you can tell me? Every word of God Elohim is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Add you not unto his words, lest he reprove you, and you be found a liar. 2 things I have required of you. Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with the food convenient for me. Lest I be full, and deny, and say, Who is the Lord Jehovah? Or lest I be poor, and steal, and take the name of my God Elohim in vain. Accuse not a servant unto his master, lest he curse you, and you be found guilty. A generation curses their father, and does not bless their and does not bless their mother. A generation pure in their own eyes, and not washed from their filthiness. A generation, oh how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. A generation whose teeth as swords, and their jaw teeth knives, to devour the poor from off of the earth, and the needy from among men. The horseleech has 2 daughters, crying, Give and give. There are 3 things that are never satisfied, yea, 4 that say not it is enough: the grave, the barren womb, the earth that is not filled with water, and the fire that says not, it is enough. The eye that mocks his father and despises his mother, the ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagle shall eat it. There are 3 things which are too wonderful for me, yea, 4 which I know not: the way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of a sea, and the way of a man with a maid. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eats, and she wipes her mouth, and says, I've done no wickedness. For 3 things the earth is disquieted, and for 4 it cannot bear: for a servant when he reigns, and a fool when he's filled with meat; for an odious woman when she is married, and a handmaid that is heir to her mistress. There be 4 things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceedingly wise: the ants, a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer; the conies, a feeble folk, yet they make their houses in the rocks; the locusts have no king, yet go they forth, all of them by bands; the spider takes hold with her hands, and is in the king's palaces. There be 3 things which go well, yea, 4 are comely in going: a lion, which is strongest among the beasts, and turns not away for any; a greyhound, and a he-goat also, and a king against whom there's no rising up. If you've done foolishly in lifting up yourself, or if you've thought evil, you put your hand upon your mouth. Surely the churning of milk brings forth butter, and the wringing of the nose brings forth blood, so the forcing of wrath brings forth strife. Alright, so, had a full day yesterday, managed to fall asleep on the couch, woke up on the couch, said to myself, I need to go and record my daily episode, and just was not able to do it. So my strength failed me. I apologize. It's really October 1st. Still got to record the 31st, and then today the 1st as well. So let's see. I like in this translation it tells us what the different names mean. So Agur, gathered; son of Yakah, blameless; Ithiel, God is with me; and Ukal devoured. That's neat. So yesterday was definitely one of those days, waking up this morning, realized that I broke the chain, didn't record my daily episode like I was supposed to, and didn't go out and work, you know what I mean, like having one of those days like surely dumb, you know what I mean, stupid as a beast, not the understanding. Once again, I got to figure out where this comes from. It says it's a prophecy, right? So I really hadn't noticed that before. It was the words to Ithiel, right? Unto Ithiel. So the prophecy the man spoke unto him, and Ukal. So if this is part of a prophecy, then maybe this is part of why we have what's his son's name. There's also apparently a tradition with the two powers in heaven, and there's also the council of God. So I don't know if this was part of prophecy and that he's asking like who is the son's name, or more tradition, if that makes sense. More research. I like that this is the prayer, right? 2 things I require. Please deny them not before I die. Deny me them. I can't today. To give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with what is convenient, fit, appropriate, proper, one's own peculiar, particular. These are all, synonyms or meanings. But if you're full, fat, and happy, you can essentially say, like, I did this. The Lord didn't do this for me. I did it. And if you're so hungry that you're starving, well, you'll do anything to preserve yourself. So you profane the name of God, too, doing that. So just keep us fed so that we can do your will. There's a generation pure in their own eyes, not washed from their filthiness, with their eyelids lifted up. Sounds like our current generation coming up. Not to bag on them. The Zoomers really seem to be taking to the Lord and being spirit-filled, whereas Gen Alpha, Lord, I'm worried about you guys. I love these lists, as I've said before. They're neat. And I think each of them probably bears their own little bit of study. So I've been trying to identify topics that I'm going to take forward into the new year. And these lists are one of them. Try to derive insight just from what he's saying here. I think I misread that. The same verse that's usually a lizard, it was a spider here. The spider takes hold with her hands and is in king's palaces. So they're common, we can catch them, but they're so good at what they do that even king's palaces can't keep them out, right? This is the verse at the end of it, the last 2 that I was thinking about when I was trying to speak to the fellas in that group about disciplining your kids, right? About it. We don't really beat our kids. We're not trying to harm them. We may inflict pain if we swat them on the butt or spank them or smack them on the hand, right? But that's not harm. Versus some of these are very strong language, but this isn't directed towards a son. It's directed towards ourselves and directed just as a general thought. But, if you thought evil, lay your hand upon your mouth. I don't think it's lay. I think it's lay, like lay hands on them. Not the Baptist kind, but like the the country kind. But surely the churning of milk brings forth butter. You're That's violent. That's a violent process, right? And it's done when the sound changes, which, but the ringing of the nose brings forth blood, so the forcing of wrath brings forth strife. Now, I'm not sure that I understand this correctly. I was thinking of this in context of like physical discipline, not necessarily for a kid, but what does it say for us, right? And this was what came to mind, is like, well, you say some wrong things, you get punched in the nose, you'll reconsider, perhaps. Maybe it's the wrong one. I'm not sure. So, if you're watching this all the way to the end, I surely appreciate you. And I would really appreciate if you could check out the shorts that I put up recently. Whatever I said in one of these episodes, somebody somewhere didn't like it, and now YouTube does not like me. So it's been 2 days now, and it was 0 views on the last 2 shorts that I put out, which was, I believe they were both daily verses, but one of them, I tried to expound upon the daily verse, and I had it like end right where the other one started, because that's the cool thing to do. And I really thought that I had something. So it's interesting that I get no circulation at all. It's okay that some of them get 20, 30 views, whatever. It's just, that's how it is. But then other ones will get a couple hundred or a couple thousand, which is always astounding, and I don't expect it. But it's definitely odd when it's 0 and it stays 0. It's like, what did I do to not serve it up, or to not be served up? And I know that YouTube scans the words and transcribes them, so it's got to be something that I said in one of the last episodes. So it's always about promiscuity, and choices that we make to that seem the top thing, and then from there, LGTV stuff, and then just straight proclaiming Jesus. YouTube doesn't like, in that order. So that's interesting, right? It's not been bashing on the ladies, but YouTube seems to think I am. So, speaking of that, let's end this now. Let's go to Proverbs 31 and talk about the real girl bosses. You want to talk about a girl boss? That's what it should look like. This is the example. 31.